Hello everyone, Niache Wase. Welcome back to the PP's Fun and Adventure. And today we have another interesting video. And as you can see, today we are not with model Danstan because today's video is more of a conversation of our experience with Mr. B here. So Mr. B, before tuendele, si usalimie wase.
Hi, mkoaje? Sisi tuko poa. Welcome to our channel. Ndio hivyo.
Hatuna mic. Tuko na hika mic kamoja, but don't you worry, we will get another one. Sure. So, this one works for us right now.
Yeah.
And so in today's video actually, we are going to talk about long distance relationships and long distance marriages. And why we decided to do this video is because for those ones who don't know us, we have been like together for 9 years since 2014. But it's 9 years ya tujakaa pamoja like all the time. Now we had a very short dating period and transited into marriage, you know, from Kamui stay, HE, tradition, and then church wedding later. And people have been asking, wase kumenda aje, because after 2 years, in 2016, Mr. B left to study in Turkey. So he went to do his master's in Turkey. And I remained in the country, you know. And then in 2019, he was expected to come back in 2020 March. Then in 2019 in May, I left the country and went to Germany to do my PhD. So when we were expecting tutakuwa pamoja, me I get an opportunity, nikaruka nayo, nikafanya nini? Nikaenda. So like he comes back to the country and I have left the country. So I was staying together imekuwa like ile time mwenye mtu unakuwa kwa vacation like 2 months, 5 months, etc. And people have been asking, kunaenda aje, because long distance relationships hapo nje siko na si vingine moto sana. People say it's not working, you know, they cannot accept to be in a long distance marriage, long distance relationship. If you are in a long distance relationship, jua the four of you are doing a good job in terms of minding your own business. And then this kasong of, you know, ilikuwa tarehe 17, Stella is coming back to the country and he comes with a mzungu and a child, and it disappoints the lover at the airport. So, you know, all those things that go around this dana of long distance relationship, it's a challenge, and people have been asking, hey, pipis, kunaenda aje? So, because of that, today tunataka kuwapatia our experience na, you know, challenges zenye maybe to feel, and this thing kila mtu ataongea from his own perspective, because I think we have experienced this differently, because there's B and there's me, you know, all those things. So Mr. B, wewe ndio ulitoka wa kwanza, ukaniacha huku, acha nikushikie hii mic ndio ongea vizuri, ukaniacha peke yangu hapa. So first, if I may ask you, how did you feel when you received a congratulatory message that now you are leaving to study in Turkey? Na hiyo time ndio mapenzi iko young moto.
Okay, thank you so much. It was not a surprise then that tulikuwa tumeapply wote pamoja. So which means tulikuwa tunategemea kwamba ikuwe successful niende nisome. Alafu kitu ya pili, remember by that time mimi nikipata hiyo scholarship, I think ulikuwa unamaliza your masters, ndio. Then sasa wewe ulikuwa mbele yangu kimasomo, naturally ulitaka sana pia mimi nifanye masters. I don't know why, ama ulitaka like improve academically. There is a reason, maybe you'll tell people. You didn't tell me, but will support sana. And it was a blessing for me because of your support, of course. Na ile kwamba nilikuwa pia najiongeza masomo, na all of it was for the betterment of our family and ndo tuishi vizuri. After kusoma, of course, unajua maisha inakuwa poa. So for me it was not a big deal. Support from you, tusome wote, at least tukue na kiwango cha juu cha masomo and more of that. Yeah.
So ali take the opportunity positive. Yeah. From my side, I don't know what was like wrong with me, but venye alipata the message that is leaving the country, I remember I was like, you just go. You know, you have to start planning on how to leave. You have, you know, what do you need? Like, it was about more of the excitement that is gotten the opportunity, because the opportunity tulikuwa tumeapply, because applying the Turkish scholarship is a process, and it's a very complicated process somehow for those ones who have tried. And for me, the fact that he got the opportunity, I was super happy for him. And like sikufikiria like sasa ameenda ataniacha wapi. I don't know honestly from where I stand today, mbona sikusikia kewaru, why I didn't feel bad. The emotional part, I didn't feel it. You know, hata ile nyemsi analianga eti mtu anaenda. Trust me, I never had that. I think it's because then what was more on my life was about my career. I really wanted to define my career part, and also personal development. And I think as a young girl at that particular time, I had a lot of family responsibilities back at home that were really, you know, squeezing me so much. I think the emotional part of me wasn't there. Sijui kama ni kutokupenda, siwezi sema like I didn't love you, but I think I was like, okay, you know, when somebody amepata opportunity, just enda. And because me here, I'm working on my career. As he says, mi nilikuwa ninaenda kumaliza masters yangu, na yeye ndiye anaanza. So siku feel vibaya that he's going also to upgrade his studies, because pia yeye hakuni, when he came into my life hakunikasi eti sasa unajua hii masomo nini, you know. He used to be very proud telling people, you know, she's the best graduate, you know, all those. So that was the case. But now wakati alienda, ameenda kabisa, sasa ameenda, and some months zimepita, the weeks actually, and those particular time nini, you know, hatukuwa na ma wifi serious kama sahi. We had this Safaricom thing, and ulikuwa unapewa sijui ni 3 GPs if not 4 GPs at 1000 bob. Ndio communicate na mtu WhatsApp, and you know that WhatsApp voice noting and video calling ndio ilikuwa very new. That is the time I started feeling like the loneliness, and then there was pressure. It was more of pressure from the people outside, and you know, people come and tell you ameenda ataoa, and yeah, but eventually, you know, mtu una learn how to cope, because I remember we used to buy bundles like 3 GPs, I think 4 GPs, and then unaongea Safaricom ni akina nani wanaramba. After like 5 days you don't have those bundles again, and you continue doing that. But we kept the communication. I think for me the communication was very important. And the fact that I was also busy somewhere in terms of my career helped me to cope with the loneliness and the feeling like somebody's away. But largely naisa sema, because we used to speak a lot, kwanzia like tunaweza, okay, speaking depended on my availability, but most of the time lazima ingekuwa usiku, kwanzia maybe saa 4 ama saa 3. And we could speak for a long time. What we used to talk, by the hata sijui. Yani funny stories always came by themselves. But the reality of the matter is, I think communication kept us going, and ila assurance, and you know, there was the assurance, and it was very committed, let me say that. I remember sometimes I could run into trouble, and then he's the only person I could call, and you know, this has happened, my laptop may crash, simu yangu imefanya nini, you know, those small things. You know, there's always that soft spot of a woman, whether you are a strong career woman and everything. By the end of the day, unapata kuna yule mtu mwenye utakimbililia kumwambia, hey, kitu fulani imetendeka today, my studies on my workplace was hectic, all those things. So it kept us going. That's what I can say. That is between 2016 and 2019
or 18.
Yeah, 2018 there. Yeah. And then came the proposal.
Just to be sure that we are doing the right thing, I wanted to make it official because venye amesema alikuwa naambiwa a lot of things, people from outside were telling her a lot of things, and even people were telling me a lot of things. So ile tu to make sure that I'm committed, nilikuja to make things official, from proposal to AG wedding, so that I can just make things kind of official and assure her of which I knew that anajua we are serious in it, but sometimes inahitaji actions, unajua ndo mtu akueshua kwamba things are moving. And then when I came in 2018, nilijitafutia kafea, nikakuja, and then we had fun, and it was just a form of assurance, and the rest is history, I think.
Yeah guys, so hiyo time when akikuataki, there was no, okay, we didn't have like, you know, that strain in terms of sisi wenyewe.
Sure.
That's the truth, and we thank God for that. And despite the fact that we had friends who were discouraging us, we also had those people who believed in us. I remember the seminarian Victor Tobera. It was really in relationship lazima I work kabisa. And for me, yeah, that kept us going. And you know, there was also that aspect of assurance. And then now 2019 nimepata scholarship naenda Germany. And how did you feel wakati nilipata scholarship?
Yeah, it was so nice. Unajua hii scholarship yake pia tulikuwa tumejourney through. And just before that scholarship, what was so funny is alikuwa amejaribu kuapply ya Turkey na hakupata, and her qualification was like so much that nilikuwa na expect to atapata. So aliposhindwa kupata the Turkish scholarship, because of course nilitaka sana akuje tukae na yeye, then that angekuja kufanya PhD huko Turkey. Kufanya PhD you are like superior kidogo, unapewa some like preferences. So nilijua akikuja atapewa nyumba na nitaenda niishi hapo, but Mungu alikuwa na yake, hakupata. And I remember telling her kwamba this is a blessing in disguise. Nilimwambia because I know the German scholarship is more superior to Turkish scholarship. Nikamwambia God is talking to you that hataki upate hii which is even less competitive when upate a major scholarship, and that is what happened. So mimi nafikiria tu nakumbuka tu nikiambia watu huko Turkey, my friends wenye tulikuwa tunasoma nao, my wife amepata scholarship ya kwenda Germany, and I was just proud of it, and because she actually deserved it. So alipopata I was so happy, I remember. And surprisingly, niwaambia basi waambie, I was the first one to discover kwamba amepata scholarship.
By the way, this dude alienda kwa my email, I think after nilienda interview. Remember it was my second interview. After nilienda hiyo interview, alikuwa I think alikuwa anashinda, like he used to check my email frequently. Okay, one I could say it's because out of like, you know, the anxiety, what our vibe performed. But at the same time, as I've said, at that particular time, I was more into my career, and sometimes I could take even up to 1 week sichafungua my email because of assignments, vitu zenye nilikuwa na handle at that particular time. And me one day I'm seated on my sofa, nimechoka. I had a very bad day, but that day I had a very bad day, because at that particular time I was also working as a part-time lecturer. I had a very bad day, so I came home very tired, and then ananipigia simu eti wewe umeangalia email yako? Zile za what about my email, that you just look at it. And he called me umbwa, by the way. This is how unaweza kaa ati uangalie email yako. And when I looked at my email, guy, nimepata scholarship. I was very much happy. I was super excited. Super excited. Even the thought, like, you know, you are a married woman, what people will say, you know, usiende. Yani, hakuna kitu yenye iliniingililia at that particular time. I was super excited. And the process of going to Germany began. And that's now, again, 2 worlds apart. One is in Turkey, one is in Germany. Mwingine ako karibu kumaliza kusoma, mwingine ndiye anaanza kusoma. So it was so weird. I remember so many people congratulated me, my friends, those ones who knew about it. But I also know of people like who are like your marriage itawaka, your marriage imesha, you know. And you know, there's this the that night, you know, this woman akienda huko nje siji atapata mzungu. Now it became more like mimi ndio nitaenda kumpetray. I don't know why people felt like I was the one who was going to betray him. Yet alipotoka 2016, mimi sikuwa na issue. Now it became an issue. You have to choose. You know, people are telling you, oh, no, you have to be very careful. Most women do PhDs and they lack husbands. So you have to think of what you're supposed to do. But I called myself a meeting, honestly, and I asked myself, what do you want? That's what I asked myself that evening. I was like, I need this. This is something I have been fighting for. It's something I've yearned for since sijui nikikuwa which year in campus, you know. And God has been so gracious, nimeipata. So I was like, okay, if this man is mine, it will be mine. If it's not mine, I'm not going to sacrifice my career. By the way, I'm not going to sacrifice my studies or my career. And then I sit back at home. Then later on, nishindani nikiambia mtu, because of you, I didn't go. Because of you, I didn't want to be in a life situation. I will be tripping somebody, you know. Because of you, you came into my life, you ruined my career, you ruined my education, etc. So I told myself, it is me to make that decision, despite what people will say, despite what people will talk. And for me, I was, okay, I'm this focal person. When it's yes for me, it's a yes for me. If it's a no for me. I don't care how you receive it, but I could have communicated my mind. So despite all those pressures, nikaenda Ujerumani na yeye akotaki, and you know, now the long distance again thing, as I said, began. But now the question could be, what are some of the challenges you feel as a person in a long distance relationship? So I will give you a chance. You speak from a man's perspective. What was the most, like, what is the most difficult moment or the difficult thing you faced in a long distance dating, marriage? Yeah.
Even just before I speak on that, kuna aspect yenye umemention yenye ningependa ni share with our viewers. When two people are dating or they are married, kuna hii aspect watu wanasema kwamba we are one. Mimi na my wife hapa si tumekataa. We are two. who should be one? And that's why my wife hapa akiamua kwamba nataka kupursue this career, me I have to support. Serious sema sasa choose me or this one. No, I have to view her as one entity mwenye anataka kupursue a certain goal. Sasa mimi siwezi anza kumkazia ati choose because we are one, nini, hapana. Lazima kila mtu apiganie ndoto yake. But then the end goal, this is what tunaangalia tunataka aje. Sababu if my wife goes to study PhD, yeye anakuja kubenefit the babies. Sioni atanaenda kujibenefit mwenye. I'll support her to go into that career path. Aki succeed with the babies have succeeded. So mimi na yeye tuliamua kwamba yes, we are married, we are one entity, but kila mtu akona identity yake yenye anataka piganie. On to your question, thank you for that question. Yeah, mimi sikuwa na shida mingi, by the way, honestly speaking. Because number one, wewe ndio nilitaka kukuwa na yeye. So just venye wanasema a long distance marriage or relationship is just like a short one, because kuna watu wenye wako in a short distance relationship or marriage na zina break, unaona, na kuna wenye wako in long distance relationships like me na wewe tulikuwa na zikwa break. So the question is, what do you want? Mimi nataka huyu akwe wife yangu. So because of that, and we are in a long distance something, whether it's marriage or relationship, kuna vitu tu zenye zitahitajika in that setup ndo to make sure kwamba ina work. And one of the things is communication, as you have said, na kuwa truthful. Yani sisi tulikuwa so truthful in that mimi, like, my email, my bank accounts and everything alikuwa najua, and the vice versa. Maybe challenges tu ni zile sometimes at that age yenye tulikuwa tunataka tuonane kila saa. Maybe you may want that emotional attachment to somebody niko like my brother the model says face to face.
Why that step itanua vizuri?
Hizo hazikuaga. And then somebody angekuja up with an issue yenye ningependa sana kumexplainia face to face, but haiko, so najilimit on that maybe social media platform ndo tuongelele hapo, and some pressures just from friends and relatives that na mtoto akuja, of course kama mko in a long distance relationship mtoto ako jangi. Sasa watu walikuwa na zile, ungepata maybe in a light note mtu anakuambia hata ungeka tu post kwa Facebook my wife, the first comment ni mtoto ako wapi, mimba iko wapi. So those small things, but since we knew the end goal, we decided not to leave our gazelle on a rushing rabbit.
Where that English? Somebody explain to me the meaning of what he said. Okay, yeah, some of the challenges that is quoted actually are the challenges I faced, because when I left to Germany, for the first like 3 months I played low life. Mtu angejua niko wapi. I tried to play low key, because there was also confusion. You are entering a new country, a new language, and this is language yenye unastahili kusoma. And then back at home you have a family, and then your husband is in another country, and like, you know, there's always confusion. And please, when your relatives go abroad, just know they face a lot of confusion settling down. And I think this is a video we will do another time. Sometimes we may judge people so much, mtu ameenda akanyamanza, but they are even battling depression, hiyo culture shock, hizo vitu zote. So for me, after I serviced, unaeka picha Facebook, you know, I could maybe even post my happy, or even post my own photo. Then unapata kuna mtu sijui walisoma na yeye primary wapi. Simply because they are friends, anakuja kukurukia kwa post yako. Eti we want a child for our brother. And at first ilikuwa inaniuma. Somebody anakuambia it has been long. Yes, I know. It's me who met this man. It has been since 2014 we have been together. I know what I wanted when I was entering the marriage. You are not there. You even don't know how we met. But ulikuwa unapata unaeka photo yako, mtu anatoka somewhere anaanza kukuuliza, mtoto nyinyi watu mtawai patana lini, you know, eti mwingine taki mwingine Germany. And you know, people have this audacity. Let me tell you, mtu akona audacity ya kukuja kwa social media kukupatch from somewhere, and others even have the audacity to come to your messenger. The effrontery somebody has to enter your messenger to question you, muna survive wache, are you sure you are dating our brother only? And you know, that person is not even related to that man. And somebody even comes to question your dress code. Ukivaa vizuri eti your wife is not supposed to dress like that, you are doing that because my brother is far away from you. So there was that thing. Somebody feels like now there's a way you are supposed to behave, and there's a way you are supposed to follow as a married person, which I don't know whether there's no handbook that defines how marriage should work, because people are very different. But one thing I faced was online trolling from watu wenye walikuwa na feel, wengine hata si watu wenye wanamjua. Some are even your friends who make pseudo accounts, and then mtu anakuja kwa messenger yako kukutusi. And then another thing had to do with okay, of course that one I developed a thick skin. Ukinipash na kupash back, because why should you come to dictate how I live? Na mimi hata sijakuja kukuuliza about your wife or about your husband. Then another thing that was like, sometimes you need that hug. You know, kuna ile time when you're emotionally down, you need that hug, but you don't get it. You can only cry through the camera and all those things. Oh, you know, today the language was crazy. Today I faced this at the migrations office and all those things. And sometimes, you know, you need somebody to hug you and tell you all is fine, but you don't get that. And then another thing, in addition to online trolling, now this was like top notch. Somebody went to Facebook, akatoa picha ya my happy Mr. B with another friend of ours uko Turkey. She's a lady. Akakuta akaposti kwa church group, congratulations Mr. B for marrying. You know, like, and these people ni watu wenye wanajua relationship yenyu, but somebody like anakutafuta so much kukuonyesha like this marriage is not going to work. and this relationship is dead on arrival. Also, much of the things that we had to deal with were people who were trolling us, and the funny thing is that these trolls were even from people who are close to us. That was the funny thing. To an extent, ilifika, like literally you have to close your eyes and shade off some people. It feels bad sometimes to shade people that you have been together for a long time. But what happens when something becomes toxic? You have to let it go. And we had to reach at that particular point and let it go. And we decided now, going forward, we will live our life as it is. So for me, those what I could say were the major challenges. And of course, ukikuwa huko nje, introduce yourself. I'm Miss P or Madam CS, and I'm married. And then you find somebody who knows very well that you're married. He's seeing your husband all over maybe your phones, your social media, but he comes to tell you, you need somebody to ignite the inchi, ni gari estahili kukaa bila kuignitiwa. Somebody's pressuring you to sex, honestly, and I could see it as highest form of sexual abuse on my side, because I'm married. I've not told you that I need that sex, but you literally pulling me simply because my partner is not around. I faced a lot of that, and the funny part, from African men in Germany, and yeah, but I can say that eventually I grew a thick skin and I could push somebody back. So for me, those were some of the challenges we faced. And yeah, and how we overcame them. For me, I'm Catherine. You push me, I push you. I speak my mind even to Mr. B. This is what I want, and this is how I have planned it. And then he also speaks his mind, and we work it out. Yeah,
sure.
That is all. Anything?
And for me,
before we end the video?
For me, I think my family, where I'm born, really backed me up 100%, especially my dad. Alinisupport sana, and alipenda my wife. Na alijua what we want to do and how we will achieve it. So from where I'm born, sikuwa na shida yote. And of course, the great love that I have for her could not even wither me. Anyway, that was it.
Yeah, so this to tell you guys, long distance relationships work. He finished his studies, came back to the country. I went to Germany. I completed my PhD. And we are not saying that the end of the long distance marriage is over. Yeah, we are not saying that. It is still there. So the thing is, I think it's all about what brings into a relationship or into a marriage. It's very important. But for me, as I've always said, I'm Miss P. I have my own personal identity, and it's Mr. B. He has his own personal identity, and then there's the PPs together with their own personal, like their own now couple identity. And for me, I find it important that he differentiates between that. He knows when I'm Miss P, when he's Mr. B, and when we are the PPs. It's very important to differentiate that. And for me, I'm less of emotional. I don't like the emotional things so much, like, oh, I cannot do without this and this. What if one day somebody's not there? How are you going to do it? If you don't pursue that career and this person is not there, how are you going to be now without this person? Or I think it's all about thinking great and opening your mind up, that in as much as there's emotions, there's love. When we enter into this relationship, we enter with rational minds and look at this thing as a long-term thing, because emotions is itakuva along the way. When we look at our parents and our grandmothers and grandfathers venye wanaka, they stay more of us friends by the way. So I think I learn more from this older generation. Venye unaona wanaka, unaona ni mabeshte more than a couple. So that is it, and that was from us. I hope this video inspires you guys. Acha your partners waende wasome, waende wafanye kazi, and trust that they will come back for you. Kama mtu alikuwa wako, ni wako. Na kama si wako,
aende apate mwingine, upate mwingine.
Akwenda akikasirikia huko, asiye kupenda, achana na yeye. Enda huko, because by the end of the day you have a life to live, and wanaume sana sana tafadhali acha wamama waende wasome. Stella, ile wimbo ya Stella ni mtu tu, that's just a song. You will be surprised maybe hata huyo Stella hakuwa. Acha kutumia that song to curtail your women, wacha waende wasome. I understand mwanamke yote ukimwonyesha utamsupport, she will also give you that respect back. But ukikatili mwanamke atakuona kama enemy. Yeah, so bye bye guys, see you next time as we drop another video. So see you again. Please subscribe, comment, share this video, and trust me, you tutaleta story mingi sana, even on how to apply for scholarships, how to do about the scholarships, which scholarships it has an option for, all those things. So see you next time.